And we are live. Oh, this is gonna be fun. Oh, we are live. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're almost done. And we are running out here on another mission. Mission. No! Oh, we're just getting started. Mistakes were definitely made, but it'll be alright as you try not to get hit. Oh boy. We hope that the stream is still working, but regardless, we're still gonna keep running, keep moving, keeping it going as we make our way through. But let's see, running through the city or the 6, whatever you call it. We're out of here, running, doing. Thanks for simply all you people streaming. Oh boy, as we transform, we go. Woo. Oh boy. Maybe just skip the song. It's tricky. Alright, we're about to go on a more public road, so I get some more reactions. It's tricky. Although you can't see us smiling, we're doing a little bit of that as we make our way through. I try to engage with the people, engage with the world around us, right? Because we see so many people go through their day simply, I would say, like, alone. Right? You almost like trying to block everyone out. But you know what you got to realize is that, you know, we're all in this together, but we're all moving through this great thing called life, right? We're progressing through it. And you know, for you, regardless of, you know, what you may think you have in common with people, essentially like things you dislike about people, right? You may be a gamer or a sports fanatic, and someone doesn't like it. But you know that with anybody you interact with, you're always gonna have that base level, thing in common, right? Because you're all alive, right? You're all moving through this world together, right? As one, as a unit. And people often take that for granted, right? They can get caught up and lost certain aspects of their life, right? High school can seem overwhelming, right? It can seem like everything to them. And essentially things like that, things like high school, college, even your career are just a phase, right? It's just a simple moment in time. And for so many people, they can't really realize that, right? They get so caught up in it. They get stressed, they get anxious, right? They start to worry pretty much unnecessarily, right? About things essentially out of the control, right? Whether or not, everyone in the workplace likes them or doesn't like them or invites them to a particular party, right? That was a big one for me growing up, right? When I would always hear about a party or a get-together, something going on, I wanted to be a part of it, right? So many people were doing those types of things, right? And you would see it on social media, on Facebook. You would see them out having fun, out, seemingly having a blast. And if you weren't, a part of it, you essentially, would feel left out, like you were missing something, right? And it could really damage your psyche, right? For so many people, right now, feeling that acceptance, right? That awesome feeling that so many people, want, right? They just want to be loved, right? That's what so many people are essentially chasing, right? That validation through the form of that attention, right? Or, that invitation, right? I, for one, would struggle to get that, right? I worked diligently, right? Trying to befriend people that I really, thinking about it now, I didn't really like, right? They weren't, I would say, the best friends for me, right? I seemingly had like nothing in common with them. But you know what? I just wanted one thing, and it was a validation. I wanted, that invitation, right? And if you think that way, it's gonna turn you, or at least your personality, it's gonna turn it different, right? Because of your intentions, right? Do you really want the best for other people? If you want something from them, right? And while the people that are very good at this, I would call them master manipulators, right? Actors, per se, right? They're very good at getting what they want from people, right? Because they are driven, by a desire to get what they want, right? An inner need. And, they can't imagine themselves not having it, right? So they'll do crazy stuff, illegal stuff, right? Forbidden activities in order to get what they want. And we're gonna check to see if we're still streaming, because this is the first one. We're still trying things out and seeing, right? And we still are up. Wow, this is looking good, looking great. We're 9 minutes in to the stream, right as we are live on Twitch. Such an awesome platform, right? Because we are able to take simply what we do every day, right? This is something that I do. I exercise every day, but I run every other day. And what better way to share it with everyone than through an online platform like Twitch? But it's so awesome. It enables you at a click of a button to share whatever it is that you're doing. And essentially this is just another day, another part of our life, right? I love this, right? I can't imagine myself not doing this, right? I'm so driven by a love for this activity, by the running and juggling, right? That we essentially, I would even call it like, addiction, right? But I would call it a good one, right? Because we, are seeing improvement from it, right? Not only physically, right, through the gains of running, right, burning the calories, cutting the weight, but also mentally, right, the feeling of finishing the workout, right, the confidence boost, that self-esteem boost, right, that you get, right, not only through the runner's high, but also the progress that comes with it, right? I would say that this probably multiplies the runner's high by an exponential value. As we were taking a breath, gathering ourselves, as we have to wait a little bit for this light to change. And that's a big thing too. We want to make sure that we have eye contact with everyone, right, when we're crossing the street, so we don't get hit by someone who doesn't see us. So as we are wearing neon green, waving at everyone, right, trying to make ourselves seen, our presence felt, right, as we make our way out here. Oh, and I love this song. The Thrillers, Ain't Nothing But a G Thing is playing. Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby, 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 baby. Right, because we gotta have some good tunes playing while we are out here running. Whoop, whoop. So it looks like it's about to rain just about now. It rained a little bit earlier, but looks like it's going to do so a little bit more. But let's see. Right, and even if it rains, we'll be fine. We'll be dandy. Our camera equipment is waterproof, right? So we're meant to handle situations like these. Oh, and we got a alarm, right? It almost sounds like a tornado is coming through, but essentially we'll be okay, right? We're not here taking the risk, going, doing our thing. Yo, what's up? And essentially, let's squeeze right in through here as we try not to get hit by these cars and run over by that huge lawnmower. As we try to make our way through. Boom, 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 boom. Let's see. And we hope that you can hear us right with this big, loud, angry machine. As you gotta wait for him to get out of the way. As we, whoa, what was that? But essentially, let's see. Let's keep going. Keep moving. And make our way through, right? Make our way moving along. Yeah, what's good? Thank you. Let's see. Topics. As we make our way through, right, full of energy, full of life, right, because that's what we train for, right, because we don't want to be tired, sluggish. Yeah, the whole reason why you train is so, you can see that progress, right, that improvement. So the next time you try that same workout or exercise routine, it's gonna be all the much easier, right? And you should be going beyond that simple, that same exercise that you're doing or set of exercises, right? You want to progress. So in order to progress, whoa, as we freaking got messed up a little bit, but we are okay. Oh man, no excuses. It's still going. Who cares? Though we want to say hi to everybody, but we kind of messed up there. But it's okay. We got to stay focused, right? Live for another day. Live to tell another tale. And You know, essentially we could even bring that example into fitness in particular, right? You want to live to see another workout, right? You don't want to get hurt, right? You don't want to mess yourself up so bad that you can't, you know, keep going. You can't work out the next day or even within the same day. And, you know, essentially that's going to take some carefulness, right? Awareness of your body and how you're moving it. What are you doing to preserve it, right? Like a car, like a machine, right? Essentially because you have to take care of it. If you don't, you know, essentially are going to be messing it up, breaking it, right? You can't imagine taking a car and running it at 100 miles an hour on a street, right? Swerving it around, making the tires screech, shifting into gears and redlining it when you're not supposed to be doing so. And, you know, essentially that's horrible, right? That's so bad for it. And so many people do this with their body, right? They put disgusting, sugary, greasy, fattening junk food in their body, right? It's almost a scary thought for us, but you know, it's a regular occurrence for many people, right? They do it subconsciously, right? Because it's a habit, right? Something they could do without thinking, right? It's just another part of their daily routine, right? Routines and habits can be both good and bad, right? They're not just good or bad. Hello, what's up? But you have to think, right? It's what you're doing. Is it a good habit or a bad habit? And, you know, essentially, if you get lost within it, you won't be able to see the progress, right? Whether you are advancing or declining, right? Your progress. If it's something, let's say fitness related, are you losing weight? Are you gaining weight? Right? Are you starting to see more gains? Is your muscle mass increasing or decreasing, right? Along with your body fat, right? These metrics are there for you, right? To help you improve and see how well you're doing in regards to your habits, right? What you're doing day to day, week to week, month to month. If you start to see yourself improve, right? Get a better body, you're gonna know, right? People are gonna tell you, right? Man, what have you been doing? Right? I wanna get like you. What happened? Right? You look great. So forth. Right? It doesn't have to be. You don't have to transform into someone with the most aesthetic, biggest bodybuilding muscles. But the improvement is all that matters, right? All that counts. You getting better, seeing yourself expand and grow, right? Think of yourself as one giant muscle, right? Whatever muscle it may be, a big chest muscle, bicep, whatever it is. But, you know, essentially take that to life, right? Because everything you do is just like it. It's just like working out, right? Working on yourself, right? Whether it may be going to school, right? Getting an education. We're right next to a school, right? We want, you know, to get smarter, get more knowledgeable about certain topics. And, you know, essentially it's gonna take work, right? It's gonna take you sacrificing your time, right? Your effort. And, you know, essentially working on yourself and your ability as we are crossing the street. So think of it, right? You want to get better at school, you want to get better at physics, you're going to probably want to go, someone's smiling at us, you want to go to the library and study as much as you possibly can. And, you know, per se, you don't have to torture yourself, right? Study for 8, 10, 12 hours straight, like I've seen so many of my friends do when they're cramming for a test, right? They try to put everything in at once, and you know, that can actually be detrimental, right? It makes you tired, it makes you restless, right? Because, oh, the voice cracked a little bit as we were processing our breath. But you know what? Think about it, right? Think about how you can get better, right? So in order to really, you know, do the work the right way, think about it like you would at the gym, right? You're not going to go to the gym for 8, 10, 12 hours in a row, right? Your body's going to get tired. It's going to force you to take a break. But even if you try to do so, we spit. But even if you try to do something like that, your body's going to slow you down. It's going to make you have a lot less output, right? Especially as you go up in the time, right? As 4 or 5 hours kicks in, you're going to start to see, you know, your ability to move weight, right? Let's say your max bench press is 225. It's not even going to be a third of that at that point, right? If you keep working it out and working out, and before you know it, your body is going to get used to you working out at a third of the bench press rate, right? Of how much weight you can be pushing, right? And you might even find yourself being able to push, you know, less higher weights, right? Lower amounts of weight, right? You won't be able to lift up that 225 as easily, and God forbid, if you had the goal of lifting 305 and you do something as crazy as that, right? Consistently work out for hours upon hours in a row at a half, a third, a fourth of the output that you are doing, essentially you're not going to be setting yourself up for failure. You're not going to be progressing in the strength gains, right? Think of your strength like your IQ, your knowledge, right? Expanding that, right? Your IQ is almost like if someone can ask you a question at any time, anywhere, how quickly can you answer it and respond to it, right? And move towards the appropriate answer. And, you know, essentially, that's what it boils down to, right? Because if you're doing these super long study sessions, and, you know, sometimes I would call them torture sessions at the point you're just torturing yourself, studying for the sake of studying, right? Horrible. And what you want to do instead is employ methods like the Pomodoro technique, right? 20 minutes on, 20 minutes off, or find a way, you know, to adjust that time accordingly, right? Figure out what works best, right? Because a lot of us don't really know ourselves that well, and that's okay. You don't have to know everything about yourself, right? It's a whole process of life, I would say, is self-discovery, right? Figuring out what you're good at, what you're bad at, right? What you like to do, what you don't like to do, right? Focusing on the things you do like, and kind of, sort of, ignoring things that you don't. But doesn't mean that you can't work on them. You can work to accentuate your weaknesses, right? Not allow yourself to get exposed, right? Because that'll happen if, you know, you have too many weaknesses, right? And the weaknesses are too weak, right? I like to think of life as like an MMA example, right? MMA fighters, they have to do boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, and bring them all together, right? All these different skill sets that take years upon years to master, right? And improve, right? We're gonna take off our glasses so we can see better, right? As our glasses are getting foggy, right? It's raining so hard on us, but essentially we're gonna keep on topic, keep on par. And come to think about it, right? Life is like MMA, right? Because anybody can come at you with these different specialties, right? So many people may focus so much on one particular skill, right? And that's great. It can make you an awesome living, right? Get you by. But you know, there's only gonna come a time where someone exposes you for your weaknesses, right? And for so many people, it may be, you know, getting up and talking and communicating, right? That someone asks you, tell me about yourself, right? Are you gonna be able to adequately answer that, right? An employer, right? You can have all the technical experience and degrees right behind you, but if you're not able to answer that simple question when it is asked, your employer probably, you know, might not hire you, right? Might not see you as adequate, right? For something as a simple question, right? And also too, right, we'll even get into the topic of public speaking, right? You want to improve that, right? Because essentially, so many individuals lack that skill. And, you know, they may have these great ideas, right? Great, you know, things that they are passionate about and work hours upon hours on, right? Building devices, creating systems, right? Financial systems, healthcare systems, but they may struggle in, you know, presenting these ideas, right? Communicating them to other individuals, right? And, you know, I would say it's one of the, you know, most lost skills of our generation. Right? So many of us are taught to go to school, get an education, work very hard, and, you know, simply think that throwing our degrees on the table, our resumes, our experiences are going to get us the job, right? It's going to take more than that, more, you know, than just words on a paper, right? There's going to be words coming out of your mouth, right? The mouthpiece. So many people neglect the importance of that. It's such a crucial, you know, skill to have, right? The ability to just talk, right? It can fast forward your career in so many ways, right? If you have a deficiency in education, right, you're lacking the proper credibility, right, technical skills. If you have those vocal abilities, you know, it's going to be able to compensate for it, right? Not make you have to go back to school and get things like a master's degree or doctorate, or even go to law school, right? So many people think that they have to do, but I even say, right, in major corporations, a lot of the individuals at the super high positions aren't necessarily the ones that went to school for 8 years and got a PhD and all the technical abilities, right? They're the ones that simply know how to express ideas, how to work with other people, make them feel great, make them feel awesome, you know, about whatever it is that they're doing, right? Unite them on a common purpose, on a common objective, and, you know, get it going, get the work going, right? Amongst a larger set of individuals, right? You can do as much, I would say, they call it in science bench work, right? Bench work is, you know, when you are essentially just doing the experiment, right? Injecting the material into different containers, looking under the microscope, doing these repetitive procedures. You can do so much of that, right, to help your lab. And the real big work, foundational work that I would say so many labs can't live without is the managerial work, managing all the minds within the lab, right? Looking at people, seeing, are they happy today? Are they not happy today? Right? Did they have, you know, problem, you know, sitting in traffic today? Did the traffic get to their head? Right? Are they sick? Did their dog, you know, something happen to their dog? Right? It might make them feel down. Or, you know, they might be happy, right? Their anniversary might be nearing, right? Or their birthday, whatever it is, right? Happy or sad, right? Excited and disappointed, right? Whatever their emotions are. And not only within companies, but within your daily life, as you interact with other people, that's going to help us. As this guy didn't see us, and he would have killed us had we not seen him, But, you know, essentially as, you know, you go about your business, about your daily life, I would say it's not too much about showing off your flashy things, right? Flashy cars, flashy houses, and trying to impress other people, right? You want to do your activities for you, right? You are your best friend, right? Not your arch nemesis, as so many people make themselves out to be. And, you know, essentially, you have to think about that, right? Think like someone who's at the helm of their life, right? You are in charge of yourself. You are in operation of your activities, right? What you are doing within your day-to-day business. We're gonna go. Alright, let's try this again. Whoa. God damn, this is scary. Man, I don't think we chose the best time to go running. We're out here seemingly, I would say, stranded. Right as we make our way through the thunderstorms. It's so scary, so freaky, right? Taking the risk, and you know what else we're doing? Damn, right, getting it going. All you wonderful people. And moving along, going through. Feels like it was a normal, sunny, wonderful day, but unfortunately, it's not. It's so wet and rainy and scary and gloomy. Right? So many reasons to feel bad and down and complain. Right, it's right in front of us, right through the rain, right through this condition, right, as unfortunate as it may appear to be. Right, so many of us essentially, you know, can look at it as an excuse, right? Something to look down upon. All right, so what's up, guys? So we're about to run right now. Just give us a minute or so as we have some Dr. Dre in our headphones. It's like this and like that and like this, and here we go. Woo. So today it's not the best days, I would say. In particular, if you're out and about, right, driving a car, moving around the city, as it's been very gloomy, and wow, literally right when we start, we are, you know, jumped on by some individuals who were a little bit crazy about us and what we do. So let's close up this pocket real quick. So we forgot to do that as we continue on our way, moving through our run, right as we make it towards our destination, right, the finish line. And you know, we love to do this. This is so much fun for us, right? Because this is just, you know, like another activity for us. This is we would call it like a walk in the park, right? Except this one is more like a jog, right? We're out here running, doing our thing, having fun, right? Kicking behind, taking names, you know, as we do this, right? As we try to run and juggle, right? This craziness that took us, you know, quite some time to learn, right? Each skill, right? The skill of juggling, of course, and the skill of running, right? Integrating the two, right? Which also took some time and training to do. And, you know, essentially for you, learning these different skills and applying them together is really a huge life lesson for me, right? Is that, you know, even I'll say like when I started both running and juggling, right, as separate acts, they felt like almost impossible, you know, to progress. They felt very hard, right? Because when I would go running, right, I would get the temptation to stop, to quit, to give up, right, essentially, you know, in whatever it is that I'm doing. And, you know, essentially, it takes, you know, a certain mindset, a certain willpower in order to get through it all, right? To go in one day, you know, work out, do your thing, and come back the next day stronger and better. And, you know, it's the whole name of the game. But, you know, you may be wondering, how do you do that, right? It may sound so easy, you know, drawn out, right? All you gotta do is, you know, do the work, do more work than yesterday, and, you know, you're gonna see improvement. But, you know, it's more complex than that. Right? It's easier said than done. Because if it were so easy, then everybody would simply be able to do it, right? Everybody would have, you know, pretty much anything they wanted, right? Because a lot of the amazing things that people want, you know, particular careers, particular bodies, right, of physical shape, and, you know, financial goals, all of that takes work, right, and time, you know, to build. And, you know, essentially everyone knows that you have to do the work, right, and do more work, and eventually you'll get there. But in order to do that, exactly, it requires some huge thing, the D word we call discipline, right? Because so many people simply lack that, right? So elusive, it's so hard to obtain, right? Because, you know, and very often the D word, discipline, and the M word, motivation, are two big crucial keys, you know, for your success. You know, they often get confused with one another. And, you know, to break it down pretty simply for all of you, is that motivation is a short burst, we would call it energy, right? Directional energy towards something. You can get motivation to study for your exam, right? Maybe in a couple days, weeks, or even tomorrow, right? The motivation is going to push you, get the light going, the fire within you to start doing a lot of work, right? The necessary work. And that's good, awesome, great, right? Everyone needs to start somewhere. But, you know, in the end, you want big, you know, goals to be hit. Right? You got to hit your marks, and they take time, right? You can simply try to sprint and sprint until you reach a marathon, but guess what? You're gonna get tired, right? It's physically impossible to sprint through a marathon, right? A 26.2 mile race, if you guys aren't so familiar with it. And, you know, essentially, that's the name of the game, right? You got to figure out your pace. How fast are you going to run throughout the whole duration in order to preserve your energy, right? And, you know, learn things like developing your stamina, right? Because, as we said, nobody has the stamina as of right now, right? We don't want to say that, you know, something's impossible, but at least in this day and age, nobody's able to do a full sprint for 26 miles straight. It's crazy, right? A lot of people can't do, you know, 50, let alone 20, 10 meters of it, right? How are you going to do 26 miles of that? And, you know, for you, a lot of people, you know, take this faulty mindset within their day-to-day activities, right? So they'll have that test coming up and they'll watch a bunch of motivational videos, or they'll see other people that are successful, right? They probably already have the degrees that they want to get, right? The straight A students, right? Fancy cars they might have after, you know, finishing school. And guess what? They're in the library studying for hours upon hours, right? Almost like torturing themselves. Because we are human. Right? We're not robots, we're not machines. We're not cars that simply, given fuel, can run. Even if you did that to a car, keep running it and running and running and running it, it's gonna break down, right? It's not meant to continuously drive and drive and drive, right? And that's, you know, way closer to being a perfect machine than you are. We're humans, right? We, you know, get tired. We have emotions, right? So if you're constantly wearing yourself out, you are not going to be very productive and arguably very unhappy. It's going to be hard for you to simply keep up with people who are well rested, right? Common example we would think of is, you know, in the NBA, right? There's a whole, you know, I would even say coaching system designed, you know, to figure out when to bench players and when to take them off the bench, right? Because you simply cannot put all of your star players to play all 48 minutes and even overtime if you're doing that, right? Only a certain number of players in a certain number of situations can do that and not even sustain that, right? You can't expect a player to play every single minute in a season, right? They're gonna get tired, they're gonna wear out, they're gonna risk getting hurt, getting injured, right? So many different problems arise, right? So by that virtue, you have to realize the importance of rest, right? Taking a break, sitting down, and, you know, essentially recuperating, right? Charging your batteries. And, you know, essentially, you have to think, right? How much energy are you expending, right? When do you actually need a break, right? When is it you really needing it versus your mind playing a trick on you, right? So one thing that we learn when we run is that very often when we could feel tired and want to give up, it's simply a trick done by our mind, right? Because physically you can handle it, right? You're able to go and do. Yo, what's up, oh boy? I'm gonna go get this guy. My boy, Zach. Yo, stop. That's good. I'm covering the camera. That's good. Did you see, is the stream good?
Yeah, it's a little choppy. I know.
Oh yeah, dude. I guess the signal's messed up, but
okay. I don't know if it's on my end or your end though.
Oh, okay.
But bro, yo,
that's what's up, yo, dude. Your shit's so lit.
Yo, it's lit, bro. When are you done? Cause I'll be going.
All right. About an hour and change.
I'll go home.
You can go to UM or Matheson Hammock Park by here. Look it up. It's nice. You could see like all the water, and there's like woods and shit. You'll like it. Yeah. It's nice. It's right by here. Search up Matheson Hammock Park.
Okay, yeah. Come when you're done.
All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Dale, bro. All right. So we are back on here as we are making our way through the abyss, right? The wonderful city. And, you know, essentially, what were we even talking about? What were we even thinking about? Hello! Hi! Here we go as we get ready to cross the street. right, as we work towards, getting ourselves over to safety, right, as we take risks. Such an important thing in life, right? Because essentially, in order to do great things, to make great change, to simply achieve things that very few people, or perhaps nobody has done before, you're gonna have to take some risk, right? Just like how the people, here we go, as we make our way through, this is how people discover land, right? They had to travel either by sea, by foot, right, through different jungles, make their way through, and reach these new discovered territories, right? They were the ones that discovered it, and it took significant amounts of risk, right? Very often in these different voyages around the world and to different places, it was a common occurrence that all the whole journey, right, that was a known thing, known occurrence, and they realized that the risk of that happening outweighed, or was inferior in comparison to the potential success they could have, right, by discovering a new land and developing it, right, making way for future generations to enjoy and live upon, right? So many people are afraid to take risk, right? They're afraid of failure, right? And a lot of it is perceived, right? They think that a lot of bad things are going to happen to them if they don't do something the right way, right? They're so paralyzed by it, right? That fear that they develop, and essentially, by them feeling that way, they're going to be less and less likely to take risk, and on the likelihood of them messing up, right, and encountering more and more failure is higher, right? Because they lack the focus on their task, right? Whatever it is that they're doing, right? They're so caught up in the reactions, right? The failures and potential occurrences. And essentially, really, you have to think about it, right? Think about the different ways you could do that. You can go about your business and your journey, right? So, essentially, as we get ready to cross the street, get moving, get going, and look out for people, look out for cars that could potentially hit us. Uh-oh. No good, no good. But let's see. As we make our way through, balling so hard, right? That's what's going through our headphones. And in life, you do want to ball, right? You do want to ball out, ball hard, right? Show off when you have to, right? Work at something, be amazing, and be proud of it. And that's not something, that's not something to be ashamed of, right? Your work being on display, right? Because if you essentially didn't work for it, I, for one, wouldn't be so proud of it, right? Because one of the big purposes in life, in this world, that we are given is, essentially to make things, to build, to create, to, essentially make these huge, beautiful structures, right? Big buildings, big inventions, right? So many awesome, even to works of art, right? Create things that exceed us, right? And, while you're here, the different metrics of success that you will enjoy, right? Whether it may be the money, status, fame, right? All those things are great. They're wonderful, and they come as a byproduct of that hard work, right? You're doing something, falling in love with it, and essentially making a proficiency at it, right? Becoming awesome at something, right? People respect that. People respect the hard work, right? Being able, to do something and do it very good, right? People pay money for that. They pay, different accolades and sort of features, right? Rewards, right? You do something great, you're going to be rewarded. Well, in order to do that particular thing in a great way, it's going to take time and effort, right? It's not built overnight. Yo, let's go. And essentially, that's where the mindset comes to play, right? As you're growing and developing, right? Because, not every day you're going to be able to be on that level, right? You're in the process of leveling up, getting better, improving, right? So that means that you are not going to be, all there yet, right? You may not have the Bentley and a nice house and, everything you've dreamed of attaining yet, right? And that's okay, right? It's awesome. You know what? I wouldn't really say it's the most awesome thing that you don't have it, but at least for us, what it reminds us of is that state of being on your way is awesome, right? Working towards your objective, right? Being able to get up and work at something, right? And watch yourself see improvement, or at least have the potential to improve, right? That's why so many people, love or are infatuated with the idea of youth, right? The potential. You seemingly, when you're growing up, you pretty much have the world at your feet. You have the potential to do anything, right? Your body hasn't peaked in terms of athleticism, intelligence, right? It's still developing, right? It's a wonderful time to learn a new skill, a new language, right? Get very good at something, right? Because you have so much potential. You have the opportunity to make a huge impact on the world. And, essentially as you get older, you start to realize more and more that success. And while the success is awesome, it's great, right? No one's going to deny that the more money you have, right, the higher salary that you now earn, it's going to open up doors. But and you have to yell over the train. But what were we even saying? As we have someone going through, yeah, man. So many people go through their journeys with an emptiness, right? They feel like they want, hello, oh man, as we lost our train of thought. So many people have an emptiness that they don't feel that they will be enough until they have certain features, right? Certain aspects, right? A certain amount of money, right? For many, it's having that six-figure bank account, right? And then salary and $1 million house, right? So many people don't think that they will be enough, right? Where there may be, they wouldn't even feel attractive enough, right? Worthy enough to have, a good social group, right? A good group of friends to hang around, right? They feel that they will get all that stuff magically when, they do the work. And then while the work is great, right? In attaining those things, right? And even think about it, right? Those objects are merely things, right? They're just extras, right? Cherries on top of your life, right? You want to think about the base, right? The foundation of it, right? And that's where the career and the purpose is going to, come from, right? Essentially by you having, that, what do you call it? Drive, right? Motivating factors, and then discipline, right? That comes from it. The ability to, if you have to work 7 days out of the week, you're able to do that for months upon months and then years, right? Because you have a fire within you to do it, right? And you're able to just do it, right? Like Nike. But to reach that point, it's going to take time, right? Mental development, physical development, the emotional development. These are all factors that you can improve, right? They take, a bunch of work on, active sacrifice, right? Because while some people may be gifted in certain areas, right? They may be born with a high intelligence, great genetics, right? Super tall, super muscular, but essentially that's it, right? If they don't work, they don't try something new aspects, they are not. Woo! Hello! So you have a few fans going through, but I, for one, have learned over the years to fall in love with the process, right? I would say the feeling, after long days of work is much better than the feeling of that new milestone, right? That prize that you get, right? I only look at it as a consolation, right? Something that's good, right? If you get it, but is it truly everything, right? Those flashy, beautiful things that so many people desire, are they truly going to bring you that happiness? And I'm going to say, probably not, right? Although they're fun, right? For a couple weeks, months, and when you first get them, that's it, right? And, I even drive this point home, right? A lot, the very successful entrepreneurs, businessmen, and women of our day, they simply never quit, right? Even when they're getting up there an 8, they love what they do so much that they can't get enough of it, right? And many have tried to stop, right? Retire, with a lot of money and, stability, but even then, they find themselves back at work, right? Back and doing those same activities. And, essentially that should tell you something, right? Because these individuals that are very obsessed with, finishing the work, retiring, right? It may tell you that what they're doing may not be the best for them, but they might want to try something new, right? And, that's to say, to not be afraid to try. People would call them more risky or less stable endeavors, right? Like gig jobs, right? That come with, becoming an artist, right? Maybe trying, to do music, right? And acting and photography, right? Those different avenues can be very risky, right? Because you may not be, exclusively signing a contract yet, right? To give you consistent work. A lot of it is going to come through you, right? And through chance, by you applying, putting yourself in, the right position to be successful. But other than that, it is purely up to chance, right? Whether or not they accept or reject you, right? But you can't be mad.